The crystalline halls of the Nexus station had never witnessed such silence. Ambassador Zethkari's four eyes tracked the retreating figure of Admiral Sarah Chen as she strode toward the exit, her military boots echoing against the polished floor with deliberate precision. Behind her, the rest of the human delegation followed in perfect formation, their faces masks of cold professionalism. "Wait!" Chancellor Voxrim's voice cracked through his translator, the desperation bleeding through despite the mechanical interpretation. His serpentine form coiled anxiously as he half rose from his seat. "Surely we can reach an accommodation." Admiral Chen paused at the threshold, her hand resting on the door's bioscanner. She turned slowly, her gray eyes sweeping across the assembled representatives of 17 different species, beings who collectively controlled over 3,000 star systems and commanded fleets that numbered in the millions. "An accommodation?" Chen's voice was quiet, but it carried the weight of compressed steel. "You call the systematic enslavement of human colonies an accommodation?" The Nexari delegate, Hierarch Kelmthoth, shifted his massive bulk forward. His translator buzzed with static as he spoke. "The tribute system has maintained peace for 3 centuries. Your species simply needs to adapt to galactic reality." Dr. Martinez, the human xenobiologist, let out a sound that might have been laughter if it weren't so devoid of warmth. "Adapt? You mean submit?" "The strong rule, the weak serve," rumbled General Thakmor of the Bruthan Empire, his tusks gleaming. "This is the way of the cosmos. Your people resist because they have not yet learned their place." The silence that followed was deafening. Chen's expression didn't change, but something shifted in the air, a tension that made even the massive Bruthan take a step back. "Our place," Chen repeated slowly. She walked back to the conference table, her movements fluid and controlled. The assembled aliens unconsciously leaned away from her approach. "Let me tell you about humanity's place, General." She activated her wrist display and a holographic star chart materialized above the table. Red dots marked human colonies, while blue indicated the territories of the Galactic Concordat. 47 years ago, you came to Earth with your grand fleet. Do you remember what you told us, Chancellor?" Voxrim's scales rippled nervously. We offered you membership in the Concordat, protection." "Protection," Chen nodded. "In exchange for 20% of our population as workers, 30% of our resources as tribute, and complete submission to your authority structure." Her finger traced the hologram. "We were supposed to be grateful for your generosity." Kelmthoth's tentacles writhed impatiently. "Most species negotiate. They understand the benefits of—" "Most species don't have our history," interrupted Captain Torres, the youngest member of the human delegation. The assembled leaders shifted uncomfortably at his tone. "You want to know why we're different?"
"Why we keep fighting when everyone else submits?"
The captain's eyes found each alien representative in turn. "We've had plenty of practice saying no to tyrants." Admiral Chen resumed her slow circuit of the table. "You see weakness in our small numbers. 300 billion humans across 57 worlds. Insignificant compared to your trillions, but you've made a fundamental error in your calculations." She stopped behind the Saurian Empress Sheilaya, who flinched despite being twice Chen's size. "You count populations. We count resolve." The hologram shifted, showing battle footage from the Kepler campaigns. Human ships vastly outnumbered, executed impossible maneuvers against Concordat forces. The aliens watched in fascination as small human craft dove straight into the teeth of massive battleship formations. "Your species fight until the odds become unfavorable," Chen continued. "Until retreat is the logical option. Until surrender makes economic sense." Her voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "Humans fight until we win or until there are no more humans left to fight." General Thakmor snorted. "Primitive stubbornness. Your fleets are already broken. Your colonies isolated. What can you possibly—" The lights in the chamber suddenly dimmed, then returned to full brightness. Every alien in the room felt a chill that had nothing to do with the station's climate controls. Dr. Martinez smiled, and somehow that expression was more terrifying than any weapon. "You should ask the hegemony of Krell about human stubbornness, General." "Oh wait, you can't. There is no hegemony of Krell anymore." The color drained from several alien faces as the implications sank in. The Krell had been the dominant power in the Outer Rim, controlling nearly 200 systems. Their fleets had vanished 3 months ago during what was supposed to be a routine pacification mission, against a single human mining colony. Impossible, breathed Hierarch Kelmthoth. Krelthara alone had more ships than your entire species possesses. Admiral Chen returned to the exit, her delegation falling in behind her. Had Hierarch, past tense. She paused, her hand once again on the door scanner. You want to know the difference between humans and everyone else in this galaxy? The assembled leaders waited, afraid to speak. You fight wars to win territory, resources, prestige. You calculate acceptable losses and strategic withdrawals. You negotiate when the costs become too high. Chen's smile was sharp enough to cut. Humans fight wars to survive. And when our survival is at stake, there are no acceptable losses, no strategic withdrawals, no negotiations. The door began to iris open. Chancellor Voxrim's voice rose to a panicked shriek. You're declaring war on the entire Concordat. 17 species, thousands of worlds. You cannot possibly— We're not declaring war, Chen said without looking back. We're simply declining your generous offer of slavery. Her voice echoed in the crystal chamber. What happens next is entirely up to you. The human delegation disappeared into the corridor, leaving behind 17 of the galaxy's most powerful leaders staring at an empty doorway. In the silence that followed, the only sound was the soft hum of the station's life support systems and the rapid breathing of very frightened beings. Outside the station, human ships began powering up their engines, not fleeing, maneuvering into formation. The age of human accommodation was over. The age of human defiance had begun.